Oh.
Oh, why don't we just scoot you out so you're not under the TV?
No, I gotta be. But I can sit up straight and it'll be fine.
Sarah.
Wait, look at the camera. Does he look stupid under the fucking TV? Or just don't be under the TV and like
Alright, so
just
I'll
scoot
sit-
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much you see, like waist up or what?
He's
Pretty
in-
much. You can see like through the glass. Yeah, you can see what you're doing
Okay,
there.
alright. I'm about to pick my wedgie. Mic check. Mic check. Yeah, but the original thing, right? We should definitely put some thought into that.
That's what I'm saying.
I think we really would benefit off of Justin and JD in there and sometime mix in our girlfriends, but
Your girlfriend.
we
we need to have the original pilot girlfriend so that
yeah.
she can be claiming the first spot.
Yes.
Wait, did we even talk about last podcast in terms of not name dropping?
I mean, I think the only name drop that was I muted them.
Yeah, he muted them.
Did he really?
He muted everybody except Nate and Rick. That's it.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, I usually mute the ones where it's like
Like we don't even know outside of our group.
not that.
Hmm.
The ones where it's negative, like where you ask, oh JD, hey, didn't you fuck with this dude? And then he was like, no, I never fucked with that dude. And then I had to mute that name.
Yeah.
But only, alright,
It's
definitely
just kind of funny though.
don't put your elbows on the table.
You can see it, or what do you mean?
No, you're gonna
Oh,
the table, and then with
It
this,
makes a really big
Okay.
sound.
yeah. It's what the fuck is going on? Why is it so?
it's the floor. It's floor.
Usually not this fucking wobbly.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you can pull your mic closer to you.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Chill out, bro.
Alright, you ready to start?
All right, let's run it.
Alright, cheers.
Drink up.
Yeah, last one finish. How about between us? Cause well, where's it even?
Okay.
What was the wager?
Oh, you guys are just drinking.
Oh, like straight up right now?
Yeah.
All of it?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Loser can't drink another one.
Can't.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn, are we alcoholics if we
You're
want
gonna
to
be thirsty the whole time.
Yeah. Loser can't drink another one.
And this stuff. How about we can start off with the loser gets poured by the other person soju, however much.
Oh shit. Wait, can it just you two?
Huh?
I don't feel too good doing this. Can it be you two?
how
That's what I was about to say. I was like, we're gonna chug it off the bat after you just ate like 20 minutes.
Alright,
No,
well-
that's not that. It's my stomach, probably.
Alright, we'll just drink half then.
Alright. My apologies. You know I'll take this up any other day. Come on.
You want off or what? You want off? Alright, here. You want off?
This cup's actually bigger than I thought.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, dude, it's definitely a lot more alcohol in this
Yeah.
fucking tiny ass shit.
It's bigger than a beer for sure.
Look, we split between 3. That thing is like at maybe like an 8th, a 7th out of 4.5.
How'd you come up with that number? You're a mathematician?
Yeah, quick maths. You want off or what? You look like you don't want to sit here no more. Speak to me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Don't shoot yourself.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Let's run it.
Sponsored by Cass, by the way.
I wish.
Sponsored.
We'll just see. Actually, blur it out. They don't get it. Unless we can pay.
Yeah.
I can gatekeep fucking store-bought beer.
Alright. Welcome back to another episode of Poor Decisions. I'm your host again, Brian. I'm joined today with.
Ethan.
Raymond.
Alright, so for the first question, we need a little backstory for this. So, Hard Summer this past week, right? So I went, and then we went with Derek's group, and then majority of them we didn't know. Okay, so for the most part, I was getting to know everyone, or like asking them what they do, stuff like that, like just basic like small talk questions.
Oh.
And then what ended up happening. So one of the girls that I was talking to, just getting to know, right? Apparently she had some sort of a situationship, right?
Uh-huh.
And that person was also there, but we'll say for the most, or not for the most part, we'll say that at that point, at that event, they were not together, okay? So he got upset that I was talking to her, and we'll leave it at that to lead into the question. So I'll say for this, do you think when someone's trying to talk to someone, if one person is in a relationship, should it be either boy or girl? Should it be the person trying to talk, trying to find out whether or not that person's taken first, or should it be the person that's taken to let it be known?
I don't like in what kind of context, like talking, like hey, like flirting,
Yeah,
or like
let's
just,
say flirting. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, flirting. Like definitely the person who's in a relationship shouldn't even engage in flirting, unless there's no excuse. I don't know. I don't think a flirting should be a thing when you're like in a relationship, but situations like they're in the middle of a fight, but they're not quote unquote together at the time.
No, we'll say they're broken up.
Oh yeah, then what's the issue with flirting with a girl that's not in a relationship, or a guy that's not in a relationship?
Oh! In my situation, they were broken up, but we'll say like we don't even have to say girl. The one person is in a relationship, and the other person is just talking, and it's he or she is trying to like, I guess, get a feel for like the situation.
Oh yeah, if the single person should just go like, hey, so like what's going on with you guys? They're like, I don't know.
You think that's a little weirder though? Because like, let's say like we'll give in this situation. Let's say for me, right? If I was a single one in this moment, wouldn't it come off as weird if I go asking around like, hey, is so and so like with anyone right now? Because it kind of comes off as like, I guess, more unnatural if it's.
I guess it's
It comes off as like you.
That's my
like kind of just like
an intention.
Yeah.
Like
you're kind of just like thirsting to fucking
Yeah,
get with someone.
but it can also come out as more like straightforward, so you don't waste
Yeah.
anybody else's time. You don't have any hidden agenda. It's like, hey, I'm actually trying to pursue you. Like, are you in a relationship? If you are, then I'm not. You know, and, like that's it.
Right.
Like,
That's
initial
true.
respect.
But at the same time, I think it definitely like the responsibility should fall on the person like that's in a relationship. It should be usually like you can tell the signs. You're like, hey, like, you know, I'm already taken.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't be of any, or I wouldn't say of any, but like it should be less fault of the person. Like, I guess, not even engaging, but like less of the single person's fault.
Yeah, because like they don't know, you know what I mean? They don't know anything at all. Like for you to expect the person that's like not in the relationship to just assume, or not assume, but to like have that conversation. Like if I wasn't in a relationship and I just I'm talking to this person and then me asking if they're in one or not, it kind of comes off like not rude, but like I don't know. Do you get what I mean? I feel like it kind of just messes with the flow of if you're having like a good conversation, it's just kind of weird.
The vibe and you throw it out.
Yeah,
there, right?
it's kind of like a curveball.
Then the responsibility would be on the person that's like quote unquote just got out of a relationship or is currently in one to like set a standard or set a boundary. You know what I mean? So you don't disrespect your partner, or definitely more on the the person that's just
chill out.
Not the single person sides for sure.
Not the single person. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that was I don't think there's much to build on that one. This one, it would have been good if we had Kitty for this one. So let's go on the topic of cheating. Okay. So regardless, cheating, wrong. Okay, but do you think in general guys usually cheat for lust and girls cheat for missing pieces in a relationship? So do you want me to elaborate on that a little bit?
I think I kind of get it, but I want to hear Raves first.
What do you mean? Like,
so guys,
do I need to? No, I get what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because like more often than not, so let's say obviously there's a situation where it's the other way around, but if a guy cheats, like I forget if I think we talked about this with Justin, like the emotional versus like physical cheating. Like a guy will probably cheat physically, and like after he like the only reason he's cheating will probably be like some girl was like so somewhat attractive and like he's ends up falling to that, and then once that. But when a girl cheats, it's usually because in that relationship she feels like that partner is not giving her everything she needs, and by cheating she's able to fulfill that missing half. But rarely do you think guys ever cheat to like, my girl's like giving me enough emotional part for him, and then he cheats to find that other half.
No. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But chill out. I don't know why you're so active now. I think for the most part, that's pretty true. Yeah, but like I don't know. That's just like very assuming. You know what I mean? That,
Oh yeah, this is a stereotype. It's not like, oh, guys will never cheat to find that missing part. But I'm saying more often, I would say.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I feel like most guys just like hit it and quit it just to hit it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Versus like for girls, most of the time I think would be a little bit more. I think it'd be a little bit more like thought out. Like they find something in, yeah, as you said, like in another guy that they might not have with their current partner. And then that kind of just leads on.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, stereotypical, but yeah, for the most part, we see that more often than not. Based on like personal experience, yeah, or just whatever I see, observe throughout my life, yeah, could tell that's more the case.
Do you think how to say this is this builds off of it. Do you think it's ever do you think closure is ever ever needed, or is it, or how to say, do you think it ever benefits both parties, or is it more so for one?
Closure, dude. I saw this thing on TikTok, bro. Closure is just like, it's definitely. Well, you don't believe anything on TikTok, right? But this one made sense. It's like, closure is just an excuse to keep talking to that person, dude. Like this guy gave an analogy. Like, okay, if a snake bites you, are you gonna go look for the snake and ask it, why did you bite me? Like, what the fuck? Or are you just gonna go get yourself healed? You know what I mean? So it's like, basically, why the fuck are you looking for like validation or closure from the other person that obviously can't see what you need and what you have? Why not just work on yourself, or like stick to who you are? Because I think closure is just an excuse to talk to them and like ask, hey, like, what's wrong with me? Did I do something wrong? Da da da. So I can improve in the future. But realistically, the person that you're gonna find in the future won't really need to do like dump you or do all that to, like, see who you really are.
Yeah. So like for like closure, right? Like you said, like the main point of it is to like kind of, I guess, ask the other person what you did wrong and figure that out. But finding that out might not necessarily even impact your next relationship, right?
Yeah.
Right, because your next relationship, like the issues that come up might not even have to occur with like what happened in the past. But do you think you end up any issues in the from previous relationships, right? You're probably gonna bring it into the next relationship, right? Do you think that should be something that's solved on your own, or do you think that's something that has to be solved within a relationship?
Dude, that was like a kind of like a all depends type.
It's a very all depends.
Yeah.
I think, no, that's one of those things where, that's kind of hard.
Situational, like if you're constantly being abusive, like, bro, that's probably on you, right? But if you're like constantly fighting over like this topic compared to this topic, that's situational. But if it mostly relies on your fault, like how like that one podcast JD is talking about being stubborn, and it keeps carrying over multiple relationships, I feel like that's a self-reflecting one. But there's also a lot of situational ones where you're like, hey, like this family problem, how come you didn't deal with it like this or like that? Like, it's all situational and all depends.
So let's say, I'll give you an example. So let's say two people in a previous relationship. One issue was that you couldn't spread your time out like evenly. You would put a lot of your time towards your friends, let's say over your girlfriend, or like not even over, but like it felt like it wasn't enough for your girlfriend, right?
Okay.
If you choose and you guys break up, how are you able to solve that problem without actually being in another relationship? Because you can't just be like single and be like, oh yeah, I'm good now. Like you'll never like, I guess, gauge yourself of how much you've improved unless you're in the same situation again, right?
But yeah, that's all depends, because you don't want to carry over problems that you have dealt before to a new relationship. Like for an example, some girls would be more like, I guess, clingier than others. Like I'll give you an example. Like for Katie, right? She doesn't really care like if I hang out with all my friends, but I feel like if I got in another relationship with a normal girl who really would care, that would be a different scenario. That's why I never really see it like as like that's why I never really see it like, oh, this problem can reoccur in another relationship, and how am I gonna deal with it, and how am I gonna gauge if I improved it or not? Because those different person.
Why is that a problem though?
I don't think it's really It's kind of a problem because not all people react the same way that to your actions. You know what I mean?
Also, I'm saying in your case, why would her not being as clingy be an issue?
It's not an issue. I'm saying like if I were to get in another relationship with another girl that is clingier than her,
Okay.
that would be an issue. But for Katie, it wouldn't be. So that's why I say it's really hard to gauge how much you really improve if the reactions that they give you are different.
Hmm. But in a way, that's what I'm saying. Don't you need a way like
To gauge your improvement?
you do need a reaction, and that reaction I feel like shouldn't be from yourself, because you'll always have like some sort of bias, or not even bias, but like you'll probably won't gauge it as perfectly as if you were in a relationship.
But like, yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like the people's reactions vary. So like if I date Katie, if I date another girl, their reactions are gonna vary. They're gonna give me different responses to my actions because they're just different people. They're gonna have different previous experiences. Like, this one clinging girl, when she wasn't clingy, she got cheated on. So now she's gonna be way more clingier.
Okay.
And she's gonna care way more. Katie, she like always likes to have fun with her friends. So if I'm occupied with my friends, then she could have more fun with her friends, you know? So she'll give a different response to my action than the clingy girl would, you know? So that's why I say it's really hard to gauge if it's from different people. But if it's from the same person in the same relationship and they could see steady improvement from you, then would be an accurate gauge. Because you're not gauging two different responses from two different people.
Yeah.
Right? Because it would be so hard to kind of get a accurate measure on your self-improvement based on
two different relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like metric for you to be able to kind
exactly,
of gauge,
yeah.
because they're all completely different situations.
So
Like-
there are situations where like you can fix it by yourself, but there's also some that you can't, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, sort of, yeah. That's why I say it's so like situational. It really depends.
Let's see.
Yeah, like different actions definitely. Like hanging out with the friends is like a small one, but like if you're constantly cheating on somebody, like that's for sure a self-reflecting one that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or like getting cheated on. That means you're probably like beta as fuck.
Damn.
So you probably need to like definitely do some self-reflecting there. Like yeah, if you're getting constantly cheated on, you're not doing something good, man.
Can you relax?
The dog wants
You're
your
like,
attention
you're
so
like
bad.
going crazy.
Dude, I don't know what else to bring up. That's why like
Yeah.
mine would be like so off topic.
No, it doesn't have to be on topic. Like, well, what is something that you...
Like, do you think weed is addicting, or is that like a bad thing to do? Why is weed seen as a bad thing?
Well, we don't even have to say that. We could say, like, any form of, like, substance. Like
Drinking,
Yeah.
marijuana, like anything that doesn't have a chemical where it makes you like addicted, like nicotine.
Okay.
Like, how are these things still addictive? And do you think they're addictive?
Do I think they're addictive? I think,
Yeah.
how to say, I think everyone has their own means of, like, going through, like,
Chill.
every day, or like let's say whatever it is, you can have someone that's you can relate to like gym rats, like
Oh.
their form of like a dopamine like addiction is through going to the gym. If they don't go, then they feel off, right? In a sense.
Yeah.
So like I feel like yeah, there are negative impacts from like whatever it may be, alcohol, weed, stuff like that. But at the same time, like I think those issues that or the negative things that come with it, it's fine in the short term.
Yeah.
And if it does go to the long term, those type of issues probably, how to say, they're resolvable. I don't think it's anything that's like long term that like you can't get to this point if you like, let's say someone says you drink, you can't get to like some success rate. I feel like everyone can achieve different amount of success and like whatever means they have to like get by each day, like to de-stress and stuff. You shouldn't really like, not that you should, but like judging someone based on that is like, I guess unfair.
Yeah.
Because just because you don't not even like need to do it, but like it doesn't make you any better or worse than them just for the fact that you don't use the same means. And I don't think most people should care about how people view them in terms of like getting by, as long as like the end result ends up the same way.
Okay, but then let me give you like an example. So which one do you think would be more scoped upon? If someone is always stressed but they use a gym as a factor to de-stress, or if someone's always stressed and they use alcohol as a de-stress factor? then that would
But
contradict your
but
point, right?
but they get the same results, right? They're
Yeah.
both, like, let's say they're both 6-figure jobs, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters for either of those then, because in like, oh, what are you gonna say? You're better than this person because I didn't need alcohol to get by. I was able to just do this like through a more healthier means.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that you're comparing different things then, because your form of comparison is not the end result. Your form of comparison is like
The process or what? Like what you do to de-stress?
yeah, and I feel like that doesn't really like have to matter, right? Like if someone reaches a certain goal, does it really matter how the means that they get to it, if that means doesn't affect anyone else?
But what about like okay, let me give you like a really big stretch, okay?
Okay.
Like two stockbrokers, one does like crack cocaine every single day, but they perform really well. One meditates every day, performs really well, right? You don't think they're gonna be judged a different way, but it doesn't matter because people shouldn't view them a different way or like shouldn't judge them as long as they have the same results.
I feel like the people that are judging you in that way are probably people that should, like, you wouldn't even. If there's
Fucking
someone
matter.
if someone that you did care about is judging you in that certain way, I feel like it's they're not someone you really care about their opinion.
But what if it's like your mom?
I was about to say that.
Like,
Yeah.
your mom, like your mom's like, hey, stop doing crack to work, like, be like him, meditate.
I mean, you're gonna get judged regardless because like you're just trying to eliminate the part where like you see the bad in like the specific thing you do. Like so, one of them was like someone's alcoholic, the other person's just sober, right? But they produce the same results. Of course, you're gonna look at them differently because it's just looked down upon if you're drinking all the time in terms of health benefits, right? So regardless of how you look at it, there's still gonna be some type of, I guess, like judgment. Even though you're trying to be as like unbiased as possible, like, and they're both producing the exact same results, you're still gonna get judged because of that, specific factor.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, do you really care how much their judgment is? Like, even let's say you're like your parents, right?
Okay.
Like, obviously, like, your parents have like said stuff about you, like, oh, like, let's say something is like generic as, oh, why do you go out so often? You should be like putting more work into school, right?
Okay.
Do you kind of just brush it off if you know that you're still doing well in school?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Okay.
you essentially don't care about their judgment. Not that you don't care about that person as a whole, but the judgment part, like, for yourself, I feel like most people wouldn't care as long as you personally are able to reach that goal.
Oh, okay. Like the personal, like,
Yeah,
personal
no,
judgments
because I
won't
feel like
happen.
the judgment part, that's gonna happen regardless if you want to. And
Oh.
like, if you really care about someone's judgment, then that's already higher than your goal, right?
Oh, okay.
If I care about my goal, I'm not gonna care about the judgment. You can't have both scenarios. Like, if you want to have a perfect judgment from everyone and also reach your perfect goals, I think you're gonna end up stressing yourself out way more than like.
Oh, okay. You're thinking on a hella deep level then. Yeah. I agree with you.
Because like, if you do want to reach both goals, yeah, it's possible. But at the same time, you're gonna just put an extra stress on yourself that could.
Like it's like you try to reach like that goal, but you're like limited by this certain like requirement, in
Yeah.
a sense.
Like, obviously, like, let's say even like, let's say career wise, right? Your
Okay.
parents want you to have like a perfect path of, let's say after college you're gonna go straight to like the ideal job. We'll even say like 6 figures, whatever it is, and they want you 4 years school, out of that straight to job, working, and then house. But if your mindset for that is, as long as I get to that good job and house, if my in between method, it doesn't really matter for like.
That's true.
Your
As long as you produce the results, then.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I guess at some point, I think it falls more so. It's not for you to. I think you should put less stress on trying to not get judged by everyone, but you should put it more on everyone else to look less towards that. So let's say for your parents, right? Even though if you do drink a lot and go out and stuff like that, eventually it's not going to be you that follows the same way in order to I guess take away that judgment, but it's more so you're gonna push your end so hard that like, hey, I got to this point where they can kind of alleviate themselves of that perfect path.
Okay.
So instead of trying to change yourself to do it their way, you're proving to them you can do it.
You can do it that way.
In other ways.
Okay.
All right, then let me give you a crazy example. All right, so like your end goal, right? Two people have one end goal of making like 100K, 6-figure job, whatever, right?
Two people, we're gonna say, parents wants you and you want yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. One is a fucking Sherper, okay? Fucking gay Sherper, okay? One is a gay Sherper, and then one is a like I don't know computer engineer. They both have the same end results, but the process is so different. And one is gonna be scolded upon. I get that you say that. Oh, like you shouldn't really care about anybody's judgment, but like to a certain extent though. Like the way you reach that goal, there's a certain extent.
I guess in that, all right, you're kind of giving like an extreme.
Yeah, it is very extreme.
So you're all right. I'll even like let's say not stripper. We'll say one's a drug dealer and one's okay. Mm. I think that's when you choose that passion, then that whether or not I guess you kind of accept the judgment, right? Mm. Right. So in a way, you already accepted it. You're not trying to like abide by it regardless, right?
Yeah, somewhat, some sort. Like it's like that judgment part, it's to a certain extent like, dude, if everybody's scolding upon me, I probably wouldn't want to pursue that passion, because if everybody could see something that I can't, it's like, oh shit, maybe it's me, you know? Like maybe I'm doing something wrong to get to this goal.
Or in that scenario too, like I feel like it'll affect you outside of just that end goal, right? So let's say drug dealer, prestigious fucking student, you both make same amount of money, but like outside of that end goal, it'll affect you, no? Like me being a drug dealer, maybe like your relationships might not be as like, I guess, as strong. People might not see you as like as trustworthy or like reliable or like capable of XYZ, since you're like making monies off of like, I guess, like not as but looked upon like means.
Through Brian's theory, it's like if you're really focused towards that end result, you're not gonna look at that judgment to define who you are.
But it's not. I'm not talking about the judgment part. I'm talking about like how it'll affect you outside of just that end goal, like in your daily life.
Well, I think so. The way that the judgment part, I say that it won't affect you. Like let's say that's the milestone, right? Like getting money, right? That's the current like milestone we're reaching. Both means are fine, but I'm also not saying that both means are like leading to the next one. So let's say you both means are able to get you a well-paying job, but both paths are not able to get you to that family lifestyle.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like they can. There's different means to get to a certain path, but also like it won't lead you to like futures as well.
Okay.
But if your argument is just like to that, like each break point, then yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Like especially from the monetary value, like there's people that have different ways of reaching that, but it also, depending on which way you decide to go, it will also limit you to go further, because there's always like, I guess, like a cap to like potential for like how far this can go, like or how far this can reach into like your life. Like maybe let's say, well, we'll go with yours, like stripper. You can do that for income until like whatever, let's say your 30s. Past your 30s, will it be reasonable for you to continue that and still start a family? Probably not.
Oh, okay.
But the judgment that you receive to like reach that income milestone, I feel like that should be irrelevant if they're both the same result.
Okay.
It's only relevant now if they both can't reach the next result of starting a family. And then that's a whole new like argument.
Okay, different milestones, different results that lead to another. Yeah, I agree. Agree to disagree. All right, Ray, you got any topics?
Brings me to my next point. Would you have an OnlyFans daughter or a drug dealing son?
Can I get a drug dealing
son that does OnlyFans? Dude, that's crazy. That'd be fire.
A drug dealing daughter that does OnlyFans. Drug dealing son, OnlyFans daughter. So, borderline, no, criminal, male criminal,
or someone that's pretty much, I guess, tarnished their own reputation.
Whoa, you gotta watch your mouth.
In a sense, to like a large majority of people.
Okay.
If you look at it from like their more like a majority of people's like moral views.
Nudes, like nudes,
Like the full blown everything.
like, like, like spreader, like drug dealing son then.
Well, it doesn't even have to be son. It could be
It could be flip flop. Fuck it.
drug dealer, daughter.
Or OnlyFans son then.
OnlyFans. Let's
But like, we'll just say like in both situations, either drug dealing, OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, if it's the son, drug dealer versus daughter.
I think in both cases, I feel like drug dealing, cause like you can always limit the scope of where it impacts you.
Oh yeah.
You can't limit how far OnlyFans is, cause
like how far it spreads, because like
the whole purpose of it is to spread.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The drug dealing, like a local drug dealer that makes like okay money.
minimum wage.
Adderall, that just sells Adderall. Or really hardcore drugs. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, what would you guys rather have?
I think drug dealer.
Drug dealer? Worst advice you ever given someone and they took it.
I feel like I've given some bad advice, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like some.
And they came back to you like, dude, that was the worst advice ever. I want to think of like one time I
That's cool.
really.
You can say it first and then.
I don't know. I feel like I've given some shitty ass advice. I just don't know like.
The worst one.
I don't know in terms of like that specific moment.
Alright.
Like I don't know.
Alright, fuck. We could think about that one later. I'll have another
That's
one.
a hard one.
Oh, fuck. This one's too vague too. Fuck. Alright. No, I got a good one.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright. In the future, when you guys have kids, do you guys think that you guys would ever go to a rave or a festival with them?
With them?
With them.
Hell no.
Like, you're in your 50s, okay?
I'm in my 50s and my kid's like
Or
18.
late 40s. Yeah.
I actually know one of my friends in freshman year, right? He said that he would go to events with his parents and like they would all be doing like not necessarily together, but they would all be like doing some sort of like stuff. Yeah. But me personally, I don't know if I could ever like do that, because like, would I be okay with them doing it? Yeah, I'd be okay, but I don't want them to do it in front of me.
Yeah. That disrespect or like.
No, it's not even a disrespecting.
Really?
I think it's weird. It's like.
Like a boundary that they're crossing. It's like, oh, you could be friends with your kid, but like too friendly, or like you're not their parent anymore. Like, what are you gonna feel like?
Kind of, cause like I don't know, like it's okay if like I find out that, or maybe not as okay if I find out they're doing, but it definitely would have to. They too, with, like you're telling them with me or like I'm there too.
You're there.
I could be there, not with them. That's fine.
You're there with them.
I don't know if I'm gonna be raving at like 50, bro. I think if you just go to like a, I don't know.
You say that now though, but like.
I can
once
go
you
to like
get
a
age-
festival or like
I'll go to a
like
festival.
a concert or something.
I'll go to a
yeah,
festival.
not raving.
Not like a straight up rave.
Oh yeah, like a festival, my bad.
I'll go to
Yeah.
a festival with them, and if they want to do anything like, let's say, inappropriate, go away.
Just do it with like your homies. As long as you know like they're chilling, that's fine.
But I do think if they are let's say like, not even on my end, I think if they are comfortable enough to go with me, I would like that, because I would think that there's nothing really to, I guess, hide. It takes off a lot of the stress. Because I'll give you an example. Well, one of the worries I've had, like let's say like first time with whatever, right? I would psych myself out, because knowing that, oh, I have to in a way sober myself up before I go home, and then that in turn can lead to very more dangerous events for like unreasonable reasons. Like, oh, what, I just need, if you're home at the end of the night like safely, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need you to like stress too much about that. Like, oh, let's say my kid in the future, at a reasonable age, decides to, we'll say smoke, right?
Okay.
I don't want him to stress so much, like, oh fuck, I have to be home, like I'm driving, how am I gonna drive home? They're gonna be mad at me. It's like I want them to be comfortable enough, like let's say not even come home like that, to be like, call me, hey mom, or dad, I had like a little bit too much this, can you come pick me up? Stuff like that. I think a good thing I have for that would be what I would do for my kids. So one thing I have for my sister, right? I told her, do what you want in college. I don't need to hear it all. And then I told her, I'm gonna give you 2 passes. Basically, these 2 passes are, if you need help, whatever it may be, get home, go to this, whatever, because you're unable for some reason, right? Let's say for drinking too much or whatever. I'll give you those 2 passes. I'll help you out. No questions asked. Anything after that, we're gonna have to talk, because at that point you're being irresponsible, and this is when I have to get involved.
Yeah.
So for my kids, I would do the same thing. You get a couple passes, no questions asked. So you'll have that, like, I guess, not freedom, but you'll have that, like, freedom of mind to know that, don't worry so much about me scolding you, but know that if this happens too often, then I gave you a chance to begin with. Versus, like, our parents, like, that first part, they don't even want it to happen to begin with. And I feel like, in a way, it puts a lot of pressure on me, because, like, I'm also, like, more scared in situations that could be avoided.
Okay, yeah. What about they do a bank heist? Can you drive this car?
Yeah, I'll drive for you.
It's like, no questions asked. You said it.
Hey,
you
Dad,
fucking said it.
You said I get 2. I've only used 1.
2 bank heists back to back, and they never do anything else. Oh, okay. Yeah. That seems like a very mature thing to do. Like, yeah, like, you're not even worried about yourself. You're just worried about getting psyched. Like, when you go home, you have to, like, am I sober enough? Do I look, like, relaxed enough and shit like that? Right.
Well, I mean, tying back to your original question, would I go rave or whatever? No. If I go to a festival with my kids, like, you do your own thing, like, like, with your friends or, like, whoever you're with. If you need me for something, then yeah, I'll pull up. But, like, would I go with my kid and then do such and such? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I feel like in most cases they're just gonna fuck up the vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they get too fucked up, and you're like, here we fucking go.
They're gonna fuck up your vibe.
You're like, bro,
that's what you're worried
you
about.
just killed my, like, you know.
You're definitely not ready to be.
But in terms of me being, like, parenting wise, I mean, I feel like most people would be on the side where, yeah, you don't want them to do anything to begin with, but as you said, like, if it does happen, like, hey, like, you'll be lenient, or I would be lenient enough where you shouldn't be afraid, you know what I mean, to, like, hey, I need help for such and such because I fucked up, I got too drunk, I did this and that, you know what I mean, versus, like, having to be scared, like, how I'm gonna get home if I'm, like, all fucked up, worrying about all this shit, trying to, like, I don't know, do some crazy shit just to avoid that consequence. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think you explained it perfectly. Definitely being lenient, but at the same time setting some type of boundary just so they have some wiggle room to learn.
Okay, I'll build off of this one then. I think, in a sense, I think it's better if for your kids you have that, I guess, open mindset, because if you do, it'll be less likely for them to do it behind your back.
Yeah, and lie and shit, right?
Because I think, like, let's say for all of us, right, that our parents are I think regardless, I'll be against it. Them, like, having that be, I guess, their normal lifestyle, but at the same time, I don't want it to be so much to the point where I'll value them protecting that over respecting me as a parent. Because, like, let's say, like, in a situation with, like, our current parents, right, it's very hard, if ever, that we're ever going to discuss with them about certain stuff, just because we're scared of their own judgment of, like, how, like, they see it to begin with, right? But let's say if you have an open mindset, you're more likely to be aware. You don't have to necessarily, like, be in control to a point where they never do it, because you can't ever stop them from never doing it.
It's gonna happen if it's gonna happen, I feel like, for the most part.
And if you try to stop them, I feel like they're more likely to do it behind their back, and that takes away your power in being in the situation. Yeah,
you rather hold that respect and power than give it up, right? And then be all clingy and shit. Well, like, yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. But dude, you have to find that fine line of being like.
It's easy to talk about. Yeah. It's so hard to actually, like, do it, right?
Yeah, I think it depends. We'll say, like, I think a good indicator, or, like, I guess a general one would just be, like, let's say, like, life progression. Let's say, like, you're in college, like, you're whatever, have fun, like, do be, like, in your schoolwork and whatever. But let's say, like, you're past that and, like, you're an adult now, but you're not working, you're putting your time towards, like, other stuff, and these certain other stuff, whether it be alcohol or anything above that, is impacting your life, then I guess I should step in for there. But I don't want it to be like you should never be able to I guess experience these things, because likewise we've all, like, gone through our own experiences, and I think it's weird for us to, like, I guess, limit our kids, regardless of if we know the negative impacts.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say for my dad, right? He I wouldn't say he was alcoholic, but he definitely drank a lot. And then so one thing that he did he stopped drinking once I was born. Like he hasn't drank ever since I was born, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, he's always like, "Yeah, you shouldn't drink. It's not good for you." I'm like, "Yeah, but like you how do you find that out? Like you went through your own experiences to find it out. It's different telling someone not to do something versus them finding out on their own. So I think as a parent, you should let them find out on their own, but at the same time, be there when they have trouble dealing with certain consequences that come with it, right?
Yeah.
It also depends too. Like I feel like some people are just a lot better at taking advice. They're like, okay, I just won't do it. And then you have the other people like me, fucking, you just gotta learn the hard way. You know what I mean? Like you have to go through whatever such and such tells you not to do.
Yeah.
Find out the hard way, and then you're like, okay, I won't do that anymore.
Well, like, let's say even that's the case, right? Let's say you tell your kids and they listen, not to, we'll say drink, okay? Come when they have kids, what background do they have to tell your future grandkids other than my dad told me? And I feel like that has nothing like good to like there's no like evidence to back it up. Let's say for me, if my dad tells me don't drink, I had bad experiences and that, I can respect my dad's opinion because he did
it already.
Yeah.
Versus
let's say my kid, he's gonna tell his grandkids why not to do it. It's like, oh, because your grandpa told me. They're gonna be like, okay, so what? Like, yo, well, what's your reasoning? And it's like, oh, I have no reasoning, just besides my dad told me. I feel like that has no like experience, because you definitely like respect comes with experience, obviously, right? You respect like older people because they have more experience. How are you gonna respect someone that does not experience anything?
It's true. I don't know. I think that gets a little too like deep in terms of like, then you have to consider all the different factors and like your parent-child dynamic, cultural differences.
Yeah, I guess
like how you raise them.
In the ideal scenario, you could
could
tell your children to not do something, they listen, and they can tell their grandchildren to do something, and they also listen. Yeah,
that's like the most like ideal world with nothing goes wrong. But yeah, at the same time, it's like that's pretty true.
That's never gonna happen because you're also assuming that everyone at peer pressure, big thing. You're also assuming that every other kid is not gonna listen or is gonna listen to the parent as well, and that's obviously not gonna be the case. And yeah, well. Peer pressure, you can't really avoid that, and it's something you do have to, I guess, experience for yourself.
Oh, kind of makes me think of what was the dumbest thing you've done that you got peer pressure to do?
Dude, I don't know, man.
I've done some dumbass shit.
You go first then.
I don't know. I probably have some crazy shit I can think of like from when I was younger.
Doesn't have to be.
I don't know.
It doesn't have to be extreme.
I don't think
I think of more like recent years. I think in more recent years, peer pressure is always has to do with fucking alcohol, right? I feel like that's just like the reoccurring trend. Yeah, definitely with alcohol, you end up drinking too much. You know you can't do it, but you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and then you just like. You pay for the consequences later.
Oh, okay. Actually, I went. So, one time we went out with Katie and her friends, and then her friend always claims that she could drink more than me, and I'm usually like one of the heavier ones. Like, if you just look at this body, you like can tell me from my stomach and everything. But yeah, So they're making me drink like double and her friend's shots and like her alcohol too. So then I was like, yeah, dude, I'm fine. But like the soju and beer mix, I don't really like that. It's a Korean bar, you know, so sweet, you know. That's not really my thing. So
that's why you get fresh.
Yeah, that's why we should have got fresh. And then after we went to the bar, we were driving around. Oh yeah, by the way, sorry. Like this whole thing is like me and Katie went to the Bay to visit her brother for her birthday, and then we went to go drink with a bunch of her friends, and that's when her friend was like peer pressuring me to drink to see if we could actually drink more. Did I know it was a setup? And then her another friend drove us around the Bay or at like 3 a.m. showing us around the area, and I fell asleep in the back seat, and I woke up and I threw up, projectile vomited everywhere. And then Katie looked back, she was like, what the fuck? And it was like on like the nicest Beamer ever. I threw up everywhere inside. Like,
Is it a rental or is it like someone's car?
No, someone's car. And Katie's friends like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, they're really nice, okay? So the guy that's driving us around, like touring the area at 3 a.m. He's like, pulls over at a gas station, like, I open the door, like, vomit everywhere. His car is like so nice too. So like we go inside, we get napkins, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. He buys me new water, and I like wash off his car a little, because after I throw up all over his car, I open the window, I'm like, "Bleh," like that, right? And it's
you throw it on the
over
inside.
Yeah, dude, that was so bad. So okay, that's not even the end of it. Okay, so they drive me back, right? And they're like, oh my god, Ethan. Like, we drive back to Katie's brother's house that we're staying at.
Oh.
Like, Ethan threw up all over this guy's Beamer. Like, oh my god. I felt so bad, so I sold him like $40. At the time, like, that's enough for like okay car wash, you know, like, so that's why I felt really bad. So then after, like, I went over to sleep on the bed, and I thought I was good, you know. So I was like laying up, and they had this like rowdy ass dog, dude. This dog ran up and started jumping all over me. Like, I'm already fucked up, you know, like, I'm already messed up. So I'm like, oh wow, like, what the fuck is this? And I look down, it's a fucking dog like jumping on top of my stomach, dude. And I'm like, keep in mind, I'm like kind of hefty, right? So like, it's like bouncing up and down, right? Like, on my stomach like a trampoline. And then I'm like, okay, and I'm like, alright, fuck this, I'm gonna go to sleep, because I was dirt shit tired. After I brush my teeth and go to sleep, I wake up, I projectile vomit in the air, like,
you're like you're like stomach up,
yeah.
Yeah, on your back.
I shot up, and it was
back
like,
on your
it
face.
was like a fountain, and then it went all over the blankets and the floor. And they're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, twice, bro. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I woke up, brushed my teeth again, and went back to sleep. And they're like, dude, what the actual fuck? How can you do this twice in one day? So yeah, that's the biggest, like, worst consequence for peer pressure that dealt with alcohol.
That's really
So to
bad.
speak. Yeah, long story. Sorry, long story.
I don't know about peer pressure, because I think it's not peer pressure, because I kind of peer pressure myself.
He told us, I was like, fuck it, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm up for the challenge.
No, you remember. It was our friend's birthday party, and I had a lot to drink, plus a little something extra, and then I'm passed out. I'm on the bed. You come up to me, show your fucking ass.
Yeah. I remember
Anyways,
this.
so I'm like, fuck. Like, everyone's still there, right? And then I forget who I came with. I don't know if I came with you.
Yeah.
I
think so.
And then either way, I'm like, fuck. And then back then, I still had like kind of a curfew, and I'm like, fuck. All right, it's not. Would you say it's peer pressure if like, I don't want you to drive me back if like you're still having a good time?
No.
Well, what's the word for that?
I don't know.
It's just like a you thing. No. It's just like I don't want you to do it since you're chilling. Like, you don't want to inconvenience them, so you're just trying to be like
nice.
like a nice friend or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'll consider it.
regardless, I call my friends to come pick me up, right? She and her other friend come pick me up, and then also get Joe, and then comes pick me up. I'm like still like passed out, right, or like pretty knocked out. I'm basically in the backseat, leaned over, and right, into the bag, but I kind of get a little bit on Joe, right? I was like, my bad. Either way, we come back to my place, and then the worst part of it all, they walk me into the house, and then I go straight to my sink, get some water, drinking, and at this point I took off my shirt, and then because it's gross, right?
Okay.
I hear steps coming down. My mom comes down, and then and all the lights are out, right? Because I didn't want to turn on anything. All the lights are out. Me, 2 girls, Joe, my shirt's off, and then I just like, hey mom.
The thing's an orgy about to go down.
I was like, oh, thank God it was with Joe. Cause I was like, oh, you know Joe, right? I was like, oh, yeah. And she's like, I looked at her. She's literally like, with her head like this, and just walks back up. And then, they end up leaving. I go to my restroom, and then I'm like, fuck, I don't think I can stand up long enough to shower. So I lay down on my restroom floor, knock out, wake up later. 3 hours have passed. I'm like, oh, fuck. I go to shower, go to bed, knock out. Next morning, new day. I think that's the one thing that I guess is kind of good with my parents. I think they never questioned me. More so, like, they don't want to know either.
Oh.
Right. So like they just like accepted that it happened, and they don't like question too much about it, and then it just goes on.
That's the same night that Alan's little brother was taking shots for everybody.
Wait, do you want to expose him for what he did in the alleyway?
Yes, I do. So, like, well, we were at a house party, right?
Okay.
Like a really big house party, I guess. It was like all dudes, so it was like a cock fest already.
Okay.
Like, it was like, I would say a good like 3 girls, 7 guys ratio. It was
Okay.
like a lot of people. So like we were drinking a lot. The reason why he got fucked up because like 3 of our friends didn't want to drink, so he took most of the shots. I took most of the shots, and Alan's little brother took a lot of shots.
Okay.
And then later, like, everybody's all fucked up, right? And then we're on the side of the house chilling. And then, like, I looked down. I was like, what is that? It looks like a bunch of, like, mashed up brownies, right?
Uh-huh.
And then we're like, oh, that's fucking shit.
Outside the house?
In the alleyway.
In the alleyway on the side. And then,
Yo.
we didn't know, like, and Alan's little brother's, like, really messed up already, right? And I was like, dude, there's no way, like, someone shat it outside, right? And I went down, I sniffed it. I was like, yeah, that's shit, right? For sure. So,
This guy's so drunk, he was fucking went face first into it.
and then, like, they didn't see him, like, they didn't see him do it, but, like, he's, like, sat down on the wall, and then, like, on his, like, all fours like this with his head down. And then, they got him up, right? And they gave him, like, a paper towel to wipe his butt. And then Justy gave him a paper towel. This guy wipes his butt. And usually what do you do after you wipe? You take your hand out with the paper and you throw it away, right? This fool just took his hand out. Like, dude.
I left the towel in.
The towel is crack. No, he just wiped his butt and he left it there. And then, like, next thing you know, he goes back to sit down, right? And then, like, everybody's like, hey, Ethan, come over here, look at this. And, like, I'm like, what are we looking at? They're pointing on the floor, right? I'm like, Alan's little brother's ball sack's touching the concrete. Because his shorts were so high up. So I was like, it's either his ball sack or it's like shit dripping from his underwear, like touching the concrete. And I was like, wait, no, that's probably a fucking ball sack. So not only did he shit his pants and like shit outside of the fucking Airbnb, he fucking had his ball sack touching the concrete the whole time.
What the fuck?
And he had a paper towel stuck in his asshole.
It's just a wild ass story.
That was a crazy ass like drinking days. I don't know why we did all that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was, what year was that? That was during COVID, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. That was great times.
We didn't kick it with Ray that much
Oh,
during that
yeah,
time.
yeah, we didn't. We did not. That was
Maybe,
one.
maybe it was a good thing. Ray
Yeah.
would have been
When was this? Wait, what year?
2021 was it? Yeah.
2021, because
Like early 2021?
I think later.
That's like when I started like.
wait, I was still friends with 2021.
Late 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late
It was-
2021. Oh, late 2021. I went back to school already.
Yeah.
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 That was
It was peak COVID year when people
Yeah.
were like not even in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at school, but I wasn't at school. Like I was literally trapped in a fucking apartment all day. That's literally what it was.
that was just random shit, bro. Like everybody had jobs. Everybody did not have jobs, so
I had a job.
you had a
2021.
job?
Yeah. That was the one.
Yeah.
It didn't even
yeah,
sound
yeah,
like
yeah.
that long ago. But Loki,
Yeah.
Loki is a long
It's
time.
like almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's a hard gauge for me? It's because so far, I think from year 20, my age 22 and till now, every one of my birthdays, so 2 birthdays, have been at Banana Bay, and I've never left there.
It's
Like,
gotta be a tradition.
so-
He's gonna keep going there until he's like 50.
Because 22, I went with you guys.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
you did?
yeah.
Then I was really slammed then.
Everyone was there.
No. I think.
Oh no. Sorry. 22 was Seattle. Oh no. It was. Sorry. It was Banana Bay, and then we went to Seattle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then 23 was also Banana Bay, and then we went to.
Your house. No. 23 was at your house. And we just played
23
poker.
was at your house.
We just played poker. And then you got super fucked up, and then
you're
you
like,
went inside.
Lock up, and then I was like,
Sorry,
alright.
I went 22 Banana Bay with you guys. 23 poker with you guys. I went Banana Bay with a different group.
Oh.
Also,
alright.
same results.
I see.
But still, yeah, Banana Bay. Yeah.
Alright. Damn. A lot of drinking stories. Alright, I got
Yeah.
one. I got one last one. What conspiracy theories do you guys think that are actually true?
Conspiracy theories I think are actually true.
Like 9/11, Bush did it. Like aliens, like Area 51 built like Egyptian pyramids. Like, which one do you guys actually think is true? Or like Magic Johnson got AIDS because AIDS was a big thing in the 80s.
Yeah.
So they made him get AIDS, or like say publicize that he got AIDS so people would use safe sex.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Okay, yeah, well that's one. But I don't know why
you guys go with that one then, if you can. Fuck me.
I don't know why his son is gay though.
Yo. I don't know.
No, because that could be a product of it, like AIDS or some shit.
I don't really like follow conspiracy theories like that, but like, what I think is really true.
Yeah, but like nobody else believes it. Or even a superstition, bro. Like Asians have superstitions like, oh, you can't wear a green hat or your wife's gonna cheat on you. Some shit like that.
Superstitions, like, I feel like with ghosts, bro. Dude,
Ghosts.
I feel like with ghost shits, with fucking like Asian families, dude, they're very like strong. They believe pretty strongly on like all the afterlife stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you see it a lot, especially in a very traditional like Asian family. They think about all that stuff. They're always trying to like prevent, I guess, like quote unquote like bad,
Yeah.
like karma /
But the
ghost stuff
fucking-
from like
the thing on
fucking
the
with
door.
you, dude. That actually brings me to a really funny story. So, my very first scary movie I ever watched was Paranormal Activity, the first one, right? And I didn't watch it by choice. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm like in 4th grade, maybe. I'd probably say like 5th grade, right? 4th, 5th grade. Okay. My cousin, fucking asshole, locked me in the room and played the movie. And I somehow ended up watching the whole thing. Okay. Watched the whole thing, and I'm like scared of ghosts for a week straight. Like I'm just Paranormal Activity. So
okay.
like I just start freaking out over every little thing, and right. So I live in an pretty old house, right?
Yeah.
So at night, like you'll hear like a creak or like some shit, and in my mind at the time I'm registering it as like, oh shit, like it's a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm like freaking out about it. Like I can't sleep, and it gets to the point where my parents, being like very traditionally Asian, they thought like I did some crazy shit where like fucking ghosts are after my ass now. You know what I mean? So it gets to the point where they, you know, I guess like Asian culture, they do their thing to like cleanse you from that shit. But I don't know.
Speaking of ghosts, this is actually the first, like, I guess it's a dumb story, but basically I think, or not think, so in 2019, my aunt passed away, right? And then that was the first, I guess, person that passed away where I was old enough to, I guess, be knowledgeable of like what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, later, I'll go from that. All right, so stupid. So in, I believe I want to say 3rd grade, right? My grandma passes,
Okay.
and then we go to the funeral, and then for some reason I was like, oh, can I see the casket? And then like I just want to see it, right? And then one of my aunts was like, oh, no, you can't. You're too young. But maybe next year when you're older. And then for some reason, I just accepted it. and then later on, I figured out, or not that I figured out, I thought about it back. It's like, wait, there's not.
They dug her out.
No, not even that. It's like, wait, why did I say yes? As if like there's gonna be someone passing the next year. And like, I literally just got to do like just to not see it that easily. Either way,
punk, dude.
I know. I didn't even think about it. Like, damn, I really just said, okay, cool, next year then. As if like, but 2019. Aunt passes, and then my cousins are over because we're all like going to the funeral, right? And then this is at my like old house by like Inez. Cousins are over, they take my room. I sleep downstairs in the computer room with like on the futon. And I'm the only one on the first floor. And then I'm trying to fall asleep. Every like 10 seconds, I hear like that noise. Like 5 minutes passes, I hear like some like sort of shaking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I can't sleep the whole night, right? And then it's during summertime, and then that'll be important now. So I stay up the whole night, and then I don't even like close my eyes until my parents walk down, and I'm like, Mom, like I heard something the whole night. And then I walk out, and then I hear it again, and then I'm like, what the fuck was it? we have a water boiler on the stove,
Oh.
and that thing's uneven. It's summer.
Uh-huh.
AC's going. AC's right above the stove.
Oh.
That thing was going like this the whole night.
This guy's like freaking out, thinking some shit is going on.
I was like, why am I getting haunted? I was like, you actually like me as a as a niece or as a nephew. If
He's like, I hope. He's like, please.
Yeah, and I was like, no. And then I figured that out later. But we'll go back to your conspiracy theory. It's not really something I guess I would believe, but I think something that I thought was interesting. So some people say that the reason why alcohol, drugs, and drugs in general are illegal is because
It unlocks your full potential.
it's because the experience we enjoy or the things that would like come to our mind, the government doesn't want us to see that, so that's why it's illegal.
Ah.
So the thought process that we have, like under certain substances, like I guess the unlocking of like your thought process, the government doesn't want you to achieve that because you might find out something you're not supposed to. That's why government bans it.
Oh, okay. Do you believe that?
No, I like to believe it so that I have an excuse to.
That's what he tells himself every day.
It's like, let me unlock more.
Can't wait to lock it like 10 days in a row.
It's fucking funny.
Dude, no, one conspiracy theory like I really actually believe that goes into politics is the George Bush one. That was fucking
Which one's that one?
insane.
9/11.
9/11, when you see the building blow up from the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, I never look. I always hear about it. I actually
Yeah.
don't even know like what the conspiracy like.
Like, okay, they did 9/11 and framed it on the Middle Eastern people, so
The Taliban.
the Taliban, so they could like invade the country and get all their oil resources.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but
Right.
to begin with, they weren't even doing that.
Yeah.
Like some people were saying, like the plane never crashed.
Uh-huh.
It was all just an explosion.
Or the moon theory, like that's also crazy too.
Oh, I never read more into the moon theory.
Like where they just the
They
Cold
faked
War.
it.
Yeah, they faked.
But
the
they
Cold
faked
War.
the landing on the moon.
Yeah, so they make Russia waste all their resources and like
And then they go hit them when they're weak.
yeah. Yeah, like an indirect war. Like, oh, who's
We're-
gonna?
Was that not part of the Cold War? No.
Yeah.
It was during. It was during.
It was
Yeah,
during,
it's
right?
War,
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. I was like, oh shoot, that's genius.
Some, like,
as fuck.
Honestly,
Fuck.
regardless, like even if it was a conspiracy, okay, maybe, or maybe not the 9/11 one, but the Cold War one. I think, if I was like the U.S., I would have flexed on them like, hey, you guys
You
fought
just got
for it.
punked.
Yeah, well, like, what's the point of like, I guess like saying you're the first, like, yes, whatever on the moon, but I guess.
That would be hella disrespectful. Imagine someone punking you, and then 30 years later, they're like, ah, yeah, I got your ass.
We
And then
never
you've
even
been
went
wondering-
there. We never went there.
Yeah. And then, like, Russia actually did do all that. Yeah, that's, like, politics shit, though, but not really, like, crazy conspiracy theories.
I mean, like the common one, aliens. I believe in them
oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
because I think it's naive to believe that there's no other form
Yeah.
of life, and it's like it's just us.
I agree. I 100% agree. Like, yeah, there's no way. The whole, like, not even just the solar system, like, the galaxy, the Milky Way itself. Imagine, like, we're the only motherfucking form
I would
of life.
hope that there's more, cause I hope that there's someone better, cause we're definitely not like, ideal like as a
Like-
society. Like, there's no way. Like, there has to be some like different thing out there that has a better structure than we do. Cause like I mean, we like I guess go by what we go by just cause that's all we like assume there is.
yeah.
But,
Dude, imagine, like, we go to another planet, but it's, like, they're
Dude,
apes still.
no.
Okay.
No.
That
Not
is
yet,
what-
not yet.
another
We'll be
thing-
back soon.
Yeah, the other thing is like I saw the reason why we haven't encountered any aliens is because they don't want to see us because they're like, damn, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, we're so much ahead of them, and they come to this like, no, we don't want them to know, because if anything, if they find someone lesser than them, then we're gonna leech off of them.
Yeah.
Why would
yeah,
they?
yeah,
Why
yeah.
would they ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, unless they want to take our resources. So, like, let's say we go to a planet with, like, all apes, Planet of the Apes.
Oh shit! Wait.
Like, and then we take over, like, for their water, their, like, oxygen, their.
Oh well,
minerals.
that's why we would want to.
Yeah.
We would leech, but I'm saying, why would they ever want to associate with us if we're already
They-
behind them?
They leech off of us. So, like, no, if they're ahead of ahead of us, right? Like,
Oh, they just take us over.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but I feel like.
You ever seen Dragon Ball Z? Frieza? Frieza will take over planets and then destroy it if they don't fuck with him heavily.
Okay, Vegeta.
Alright.
I already told you. Alright. I'm Goku, you're Vegeta.
You're fucking Krillin, bro.
I'm Lee, you're Carter.
No, you're Master Roshi.
Well, what
gets bloody noses
what
all
else do we have? What else do we have?
You're Robin, I'm Batman.
Hell no.
I'm Spider-Man, you're Ned.
Oh, wait, you never saw...
No, wait. I'm not going to the day. Then I won't be Spider-Man then.
You never saw, but so when I was driving him, right, he was texting you,
Okay.
and obviously his messages popped up, and then he was like, "Who the fuck is that?" So this is why I save Ethan as in my contacts.
I was like, who the fuck is Carter, dude? I was like, and why is he responding the same time I responded in the same chat? Yeah.
I'm Jackie Chan, and you're Chris Tucker. Okay. All right. Get to the end.
Yeah.
You're trying to wrap it up?
Okay.
We could for sure. I think it's been like an hour or something.
Because the other one before was like 40 plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching another episode of Poor Decisions. I was your host, Brian.
Ethan.
Raymond.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Cool. Holy shit, my stomach started hurting like crazy, that's why.
You want to take a shit before we go so you don't shit on my
Dude, I don't even think we were running it. We don't even have enough heads.
We have 7. Have you not been looking at the messages? Those guys are feeding.
Hey, hi.
No, we only have...
7.
Shit.